Hello, Shroomies. It's update for October 19th, 2024. It's been just about 8 weeks since we got started, and maybe a few weeks since we had. Actually, this would be like the first week. I think next week we'll have our whole team ready because I think Una and Dorothy just finished a major project. I've recorded over 40 videos in the last 6 weeks for a series of classes, which I'll show you. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy, but a lot's gotten done, even though we haven't been able to meet up. A lot's going on. So I just wanted to let everyone know that you should download and start playing around with the project on Perforce. So give it a try, give us some feedback. We want to fine tune the controls and generate ideas for the overall game design. The jumping and bouncing on the game design is working pretty well, but it's very much a first pass. So we want to play with that. I think what I'd like to see if everyone that wants to participate with the game design would please look at their favorite side scroll platformers and bring a video of how that. So there's the Mario, there's the Metroid, there's the Ori and the Blind Forest. There's so many great side scroll platforming techniques and in and out and smoothness and transitions. If everyone has an idea and can show a video from actual gameplay of a good game design for the bouncing and wall climbing and things like that, that would really help us fine tune these controls. The poison mist is integrated. On the programming side, we got the grapple hook and swing that Josh put. That was awesome. We got wall jumping working, and Jake started on the procedural animation for the critters. You have the story document here. I hope everyone has read that story doc and watched the video from our story and sound meeting with Raiden, Steven, and I. And has the cast of characters and opening scene. For the virtual production side, we'll see how that's going. It's still the biggest experimental part on here. I know that Raiden's focused on that, and I will be catching up with her later on in November, December, and getting the stages built. Music, exploration, and first cut from our newest team member, Stephen Clark. Thank you, Stephen, for making such a beautiful first tune. If you haven't checked it out, I will look at that a little bit later. For visual development, we're refining the art direction to be scarier and integrate more colors and patterns. So we'll take a look at that document. And you can download and see on PureRef. So in conjunction with our Miro boards, we'll have one giant PureRef file that you can download. So get it, it's free. 2.0 just came out. It's got some new functionality. It's really cool. So we're gonna have the new visual development for 2024. I got the original drawings from over 20 years ago, some early concepts, as well as a little side scroll platformy one that had some watercolors and pen and ink. So this is really evolving. I got the original Mike and Nid reference, which we want to be careful. We're not doing too much like D&D from the Mushroom People they made since back in the 70s. The Mike and Nid, we're calling Mike and Noids. If we have to change the name, no problem, because we're definitely going to be doing our own version of these. So inside the PureRef file, take a look at this in a little bit more detail in just a moment. So yeah, you have access to that file. So make sure you download PureRef and so you can participate and drop your boards in there. Just make sure that if you're working on it, we know that we're not working on it at the same time. The art pipeline is new digital sculpture playlist has started. So if you click on that, you can see we have the new digital sculpture playlist started up. I got 3 videos in there already, so that's coming around also. Also a new playlist for rapid prototyping for the elders and the giant shroom model. So for that one, I have this video here that I will be posting, which I'm going to time lapse and do a talk over, voiceover. And so we're going to going in through basic ZBrush sculptural techniques using just a couple brushes, maybe 3 or 4 brushes to do the crevices and get, I think, a pretty good, I think it took me less than an hour. Next time around should be way faster, maybe 10, 15 minutes. So everybody will have access to that. New playlist for rapid prototyping for the World of Mush. We're also going to do videos for, finally, I've been talking about for a couple months now that I have the stop motion videos done. We're going to do model kits for the giant shrooms, for the backgrounds, the platforming parts that you can jump on that we can integrate quickly into our awesome project that Josh and Jacob have built for us, and the background Myconoid Cityscape. There's also a stop motion playlist, so in case you missed it, there's 30 plus new videos. That's what's been eating up most of my time the last 6 weeks. I know it's closer to 40 videos, and I don't know how many hours, step by step, stop motion puppet design. We should be finishing up the puppets in early November, and just a couple weeks after Halloween, and then we can do the set designs for the first Alchemy Lab. The first Alchemy Lab expected early December, so I'll have our first set design officially done on the stop motion set, which would also go along with the pipeline for the art. On the motion caption session, I hopefully good luck to Dorothy and Yuna on their Vive Scary Crazy Dodo which video if you didn't check that out on our fun channel. So we're hoping to reconnect and get Yuna and Dorothy into the fold here and do a motion caption session early in November. So we'll get a list of animations we need and get the suit going. I'll talk to Mary as well about maybe lending out the suit and setting up over here in my studio in San Leandro. And then lastly, some features for the first demo. I was looking at two features. Watching out for feature creep. We'll talk to Jacob and Josh and the team, of course, make sure we're not doing anything crazy. But I would be interested in adding an AI follow me bot, Shroomy sidekick character, along with having some actual branching story dialogue system, make it more story based. I think in the long run, it's near and dear to my heart. I have a lot of writing I'd like to do, and if we could have a basic system set up that would allow for non-linear storytelling and exploration and some fun dialogue that actually plugs back into the AI system for responses and for how you would interact with the game and abilities and things like that. That'd be awesome. And also maybe do a quest system. So the programmers Josh and Jake finished a lot of the basic functionality for the playing the demo and platforming. Added some new abilities. Got the inventory system. Got a start screen. We got background music. I actually like the background music a lot that Jake made initially. So, and then we just had Steven come on board. So I'd love to see if you guys can sync up a little bit. Maybe if Jake, if you want to do some sound stuff along with Raiden and Steven, please, and anyone else, please. Steven had asked for samples. I've dropped a ton of stuff in our music channel on Discord. So if you go to our Discord channel, and in World of Mush, go down here to sound design. There's Steven. Sorry, I put your link down there, Steven. Sound effects music. Here we go. I dropped in some effects, and then Steven responded and found, the Mark Farina, the old original Mushroom Jazz. I was looking at some of the kind of generating music, the noise that's made from, or the sound that's from Ennio Morricone from the Good, Bad, Ugly, the kind of spaghetti westerns. I love the music in there. We got some samples from Steven's, from our D&D game, which is so freaking awesome. Is the Boba Yaya. This is his bard fortune teller character that he did some really killer music for one of our games. So there's some fun stuff to see in there. If you haven't seen it yet, please check it out. And you can kind of get some ideas for other sound effects, some jumping, some bouncing, dropping. There's other gaming effects that go along with the music that would be great to hear. And a special thanks again to Josh for setting up our Perforce right away when we first started this in August, just 2 short months ago. We were just like, hey, let's do this. And then, fall semester hit us right in the face, or hit me in the face at least. And so, but he got that set up right away, which has really enabled us to build out this initial prototype with the jumping, with throwing the cap down as an extra platforming, so you can see down here. And then Jake took that and ran with that. It was another map, so check those maps out. And you can also check out on our Miros. I'm going to try and use them more frequently. I have to put this in a slide, like kind of flow from my own brain, but I'll definitely drop all this back into Miro for some functionality. So we're looking at the crafting, the potion, the ingredient, the equipment blueprints that Jake's designing. We also had Una throw in some kind of visual effects for how, if you're damaged, how the mycelium, at least the corrupted mycelium might kind of engulf you on the screen for doing some post-processing effects. And we also had some look at the slots and the different ways in which our character, the polymorphism, like how the body might adjust and the items that you collect might adjust based on your abilities and how you're traversing through the world. So I think once we get this basic setup in November and December, I want to try and have 2 game jams scheduled. So one day in November, one day in December. It could even be like an overnight or 2 day game jam if people are allowed. I'll probably spend that much time on it, and for people who have the time. And once the basic ingredients are there, we can actually build out levels fast and actually get some more prototyping. Cast of characters has started, so big thanks again to Una, Dorothy, and Raiden, and especially our one of our newer members, Nick. He's still in the earlier phases of learning, but he's tackling some really difficult stuff that all of you have probably been through before, which is learning how to rig and animate and do skin weights. And I've kind of given him the difficult task of learning some of the modular rigging tools in Unreal, which Dorothy's been playing with. So that's great to see. He's busted out some critters, so we're going to integrate that into our pipeline. I love the Alchemist drawings and some of the other sketches that Una did and some of the drawovers for the Queen from Raiden. So, and there's lots of great stuff here. I'm integrating all the stuff. So anything you guys put in here, I am absolutely absorbing. So I struggled to use my gouache paints. I pulled them out and I kind of messed up, but I kind of integrated many pieces as much that Dorothy put in here. And I called her Ms. Moz, like Mrs. Moss, right? It's Ms. Moz. I thought that rolled out the tongue fun. And that puppet's already on the way, so we should have the stop motion puppet for her designed. And we're gonna play with the critters. They've got the AI bots going in already. Also got the Royal Guard puppet started, and the main character is officially the design's kind of done. So the sculpture is now in the Cal State East Bay Gallery show. They did it for faculty. So I got some much better photos to come, but his gear and equipment and haversack and a different pack and the apothecary belt and pouch is set. The image planes are done for the body. I just got to finish the body up in Maya. Was doing this today, literally. Today is at 7:10. Yeah. On Saturday, October 19th, I'm going as fast as I can to get this body done so I can finally do the fun ZBrush stuff. So I'll record all the videos I can for classes, but for our team, so that you guys want to do a good ZBrush pipeline into Unreal Engine, and of course that'll include Substance Painter as well. But yeah, he's good to go. I think I just got to finish that up, and then the Queen, the throne room that Raiden was working on with the dress, and then had some drawovers working together with Una. Got some really awesome stuff going. So hopefully we'll see the Marvelous Designer pipeline integration with ZBrush as well. So for those of you interested in doing intricate costumes, Raiden's kind of taken the lead on that, as well as of course, being our awesome producer and keeping us going and keeping in touch with everyone. So thanks again. I didn't say thank you early enough and enough for all that hard work and energy that Raiden's been putting in. And again, I know everyone's got full-time jobs and gigs and stuff going on. So thanks again. I know it's a volunteer project that I am so thankful to have you all working together with, on this. So a great team. So yeah, this is man, I haven't done a finished modern pipeline costume substance character yet. It's been 5-6+ years, so I am just over the moon to do this digitally and do traditional handmade puppets. So it's gonna be fun. Other thing I have going on here that maybe you haven't seen yet is I do have a standardization pipeline coming. So we have Photoshop, standard Photoshop brushes, textures, and patterns. ZBrush model kit we'll work on having our own library of insert mesh brushes. They're called IMM brushes, our own set of materials and presets, not presents. Clearly I went really fast. I haven't spell check this yet. Unreal Materials pipeline. I think we're going to use the Slate, the new materials settings and PBR. So we're going to push the technology with this project, and then we will get a time to start the Substance Painter mocap animation pipelines whenever we get rolling on this stuff. That'll be the next step. So later in November, December, I'm hoping we'll be able to do the basic stage setup and at least green screen in one pose for one finished puppet into one setting, and that's our starting point. That's enough, I think, with the awesome music The awesome interaction, having some platforming. We'll have like a little demo at least started, and then we'll see by the end of the year how far we get for this first deadline, at least with the stop motion animation. So yeah, so this is just really quickly. These have been settings, by the way, like sitting down, and just for an hour or two, I'm feeling really good and confident that I'm able to do this very really fast. I'm getting my old speed back in ZBrush, which is still my favorite app of everything to use digitally. So the Great Myconoid Elder Speed Sculpt. Here's the size comparison. So I'm gonna wrap this up, a demo of this, put that out online. And if anyone else wants to sculpt giant, maybe some dead elders, like all these big mountain ranges of like carcasses of these giant myconoid creatures that have now become part of the mountain range. You know, the dead Titan thing, like that. Again, this is a 20-year-old idea, so it's not that novel. You can see a lot of that. Unreal did a big Titan level thing recently, a big open project. So it's something I think we're in a sweet spot here with mushroom mycelium myconoid theme with the giant Titan world platforming. I think it's kind of a good time to be doing this. Is why we chose this project, because I think a lot of people are going to like what we're making. We'll do more quick training. So we did a little quick training a couple Wednesdays ago just to get, again, anyone that wants to learn ZBrush, learn the pipeline. You'll have an opportunity to do that on this project and learn some professional tools and processes, and yeah, and get fast, right? Like I'm going to push everyone who's on this to just be free, have fun, do it fast, don't overthink it. And here's showing with the size and scale. This is what I'm thinking of currently for just how big these mammoth elders would be when we have some cutscenes and role play. So we'll play around with that and how big of a set we want to build, how tiny of a stop mo miniature I can build, how the camera lenses work, and then how that filters into Unreal Engine. The Colossal Mushrooms model kit, that's up on tap next after, so in conjunction, I'm doing all these sculpts simultaneously on the new playlist, but I'm going to sculpt a bunch of these larger mushroom pieces and clumps, and these pieces will be added to and dangle on the elder, so they'll be able to crumble and fall off. So right now you're seeing the elder in its kind of raw form, but it's going to be covered and encased in a lot of this overgrowth and debris. So a lot of chaos physics and crumbling and breaking. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. With the colors, these are the original. These are from a little over a decade ago when I was doing side scroller. When I really loved the watercolor kind of squishy look that we saw in games like. Oh dang, I'm blanking. What was the game with the watercolor? Back with Child of Light. There, thank you. That Ubisoft did that I referenced a lot in my classes. So, and I was doing charcoal pen and ink styles. And I do have some foliage kits to go as well. So we have the larger mushroom stuff and the foliage. I have all these. These are already done. These are already modeled and UV mapped. But we get to substance painter them and detail them in ZBrush, which I didn't get a chance to do years ago. So these are a really fun plant kits. So everybody will learn if you want to be a part of that. I'll have the videos and you can participate in this project, how to make your own plant model kits. All these kits, by the way, I plan on sharing everyone who's on the team and participates. We will upload these to the marketplace and have them available for purchase. So that's something else to talk about. And the mock Rocky model kit, I'll get those. I get a chance to put it in there. Level design. We haven't got a chance to look at that too much yet. We've been talking about it. We have a lot of stuff to lock in before we do a lot of level design. We said the mycelium travel network to like go through the mycelium. Braden started with playing with the orthographic papers, the alchemy rough-in. We have a lot of drawings, so I just kind of threw in what we had so far. This is kind of the mini map so far. So we're thinking of like a hollow world where the roof is actually going to have a lot of roiling gases and nebula that all looks like clouds, but it's not going to be a real sky. It's going to actually have a crust, and so we'll have the myconoids that are kind of tied to their mycelium, right? So they have a big queendom or realm, but they don't venture too far. So the different mycelium uh, realms under here, they don't even know there's a surface realm. We'll have them connected to the great tree kind of features that are up above. So that intertwining of the myconoids and these tree beings and their root systems is one of the first, if you read the story document, it's in there. So we really want to go from the alchemy lab to the throne room and then foray into the wilds and do some platforming. And I didn't get a chance to, but I have a bunch of side scroll, not a bunch, but I have some side scroll drawings of that already drawn up. The beginning story document, if you click on that, that'll take you there. The new official theme song, I kind of want to play this now before I finish this up, but just because it's so inspiring and fun to listen to. Let's see if this will actually pick up. I think I got to turn on my desktop audio. If it will play, just to end this presentation I'm making for everybody. No. Yeah, there we go. I should have turned this on at the beginning. Yeah, so new official theme song. Thank you. Hey there, Mushies. I made this first sketch thinking it's kind of theme song for Mush. And I think I'll also introduce some other elements. I can hear some sounds there. I can't wait to pick Steven's brain or anyone that has questions like what other sounds that are in this tune are actually part of the environment and elements and things that are going to be part of the gameplay and the critters and things going on in the world that are making these sound effects. The research on materials and mix, so we're going to do mixed media found objects for some of the set designs for the mega grants. So we're going to do a charcoal burnt wood set, watercolor and gouache set. I'm going to use glass and plexiglass, do some cold working and translucency with crystals and resins. Can't beat that lighting for real world set designs. And then of course some clay, earth, dirt, sand. We're going to do like a really nice clay environment. Fiber, cloth, fabric, woven, crochet, knitting. I think that'd be a fun environment and set of things to explore. And the research that this extends into is we're talked about originally about the virtual production and stop motion, but also tabletop miniatures with cameras, like shooting an actual D&D miniature tabletop that's rolled into the actual game footage. Hand puppets, augmented reality, mixed reality. Oh, that was such a cool sound. Location-based. I think it's going again. Location-based large mural, augmented reality. These last two are kind of maybe a year from now, like kind of pie in the sky. But I'd love to do a location-based like mural that's actually a side-scroll platform. You could put your phone over the top of your device over and actually platform through. And maybe full bodysuit for practical effects, like have someone in a suit be the level and actually film that with a little miniature character platforming around and trying to wake up the myconoid elder. So that'll be fun. The last two slides here, I guess I'll just do this evolving style guide. Make it more scary look and feel. So these dark chthonic creatures are going to have an official bad guy on here, the Lovecraftian entity. And so we'll look at doing that, which is over here to wrap up. As far as I got the World of Mush pure ref file. So the alebrijes, the kind of patterned sculptures that are made for the Day of the Dead, along with the calacas and calaveras. So we're going to have a lot of skull bone patterns that are really colorful. And we're going to swap out some of the traditional Day of the Dead imagery with, or pattern motifs of flowers, more with psychedelic mushroom motifs, along with Ernst Haeckel. So I won't go into this too much. This is a long conversation, but this should give us a chance to play with some chimeras and myths from the alebrijes, excuse me. So learning how to pronounce that correctly. You can definitely play along with the 2D and 3D shapes that go in there, and we're going to do some more otherworldly polymorphic shapes with the bioluminescence and neural mycelium connections. So I will do a video just on this bite. So just so you can look at this, here's the Ernst Haeckel illustrations from the 1800s of more geometric patterns that exist in nature we want to accentuate. We'll do some patterns and repeatable patterns and brushes and ZBrush and Photoshop and Substance to bring those out in our designs. I love these kind of grungy, almost cyborg-like tree and organic structures from Tomasz, can't pronounce his last name, Polish last name. So this is where the darker kind of grungy, this is one of my favorite ZBrush artists from like 10 years ago. We have the original visual style board, or not the original, but the newer one. that has the Day of the Dead mixed with the psychedelic patterns. And then the Great Evil, Fungoid Chaos from the Void. Yeah, let's make some crazy, creepy bad guy beasts. So we have the Shib-Niggurath as a Thoth, Yog Sothoth, and the Nameless Mist. So those are all linked if you want to check those out and see what those are. The first Elder God I have over here is Armiligus, the first Elder Myconoid. So you can see I just got that in there. I did a chat GPT on fungal names for our story, and it came up with a bunch of great names based on the Latin interpretations of that. And then the above, the kind of mini map, I got some beautiful pictures here from Venezuela, from the mineral springs of Mount Roraima. There's beautiful colors and clean water. I think they're like there's not much else living aside the plants. So yeah, that is our update. I'll have another big update next month, and I hope we can see more of you in our upcoming meetings for story and visual development and game design. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next meeting.